Everyone knows that feeling, wanting to experience more stories, but struggling to find the time. That's where Audible changes everything. With over 1 million audiobooks and Audible originals, there's a story waiting to spark anyone's imagination. Take The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, the gripping psychological thriller that's keeping listeners on the edge of their seats. Imagine unraveling its mysteries during your morning commute, or losing yourself in its twists and turns while doing household chores. That's the magic of Audible. It transforms daily routines into opportunities for thrilling discoveries. The best part? Members get access to thousands of included titles, with new content added regularly. From bestsellers to hidden gems, every genre imaginable is at their fingertips. And with one easy-to-use app, switching between favorites or discovering new passions has never been simpler. There's more to imagine when you listen. Start a free 30-day Audible trial and get your first audiobook free at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Don't ask me to talk.
Hey, it's us, your podcast pals, back again. Eric Ryder and
Stacy Heller.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm better than pretty good. I'm in a good mood.
Excellent. I'm in a good mood too.
Nice.
You know why?
Why?
You brought me some Mars bars.
I did. Mission to Mars complete.
Yes. This is Mars exploration I can fully back.
Right?
We talked about this on the show last week about Mars bars disappearing from the American marketplace, but still being available in the UK and I guess Canada, you found out as well.
Yeah, I had to travel all the way across the border
Right.
to Canada, which for those of you that are not regular listeners, I have a lake house that is basically like a mile as the crow flies to the Canada border. And so we went over the border for lunch at Smitty's. Shout out. Love their turkey club. And went into their local pharmacy and found Mars bars. And I was like, oh, I have to bring these back. And since they weren't fresh produce, meats, or I don't know, like we saw all these like pumpkins and stuff. And I was like, oh, let's bring back some stuff. And then we were like, oh, we can't. You're not allowed to go across the border with that.
Right.
So anyway, but here they are. And what did you think?
I think they're pretty good. They're pretty similar to a Snickers, which, as we found out, the Mars bars that used to exist in the U.S. are now Snickers with almonds, I think, because it's essentially the same ingredients. I mean, candy bars are pretty much always going to be the same ingredients, chocolate and nougat and
Nuts,
caramel
maybe. Right.
and nuts, yeah. But, yeah, they're pretty tasty.
This one's nut-free, though, right?
Yeah, so the UK version is different than the American version that used to exist. But anyway, so that this is not bringing me back to my childhood, but it is delicious. So I'm in a good mood. So thanks again for doing that.
Absolutely. It was not easy keeping them away from Pete. He was like, what do you mean you're bringing Eric a present? And I was like, I'm bringing Eric a present. Sometimes
Sorry,
when
Pete.
I think of Eric, I see something that we've talked about, and we talk about so many things. And, you know, I was like, dude, you can have one. Like, he doesn't have to have the whole pack of them.
Absolutely. You brought me like a sleeve of them. So I'm happy to give you some of these back to take to Pete.
I covered him. I got him a different candy bar.
Okay. Got him a Jupiter.
Yeah, exactly. To get more stupider.
I don't know about that.
Well, don't you know that little girls go to, what is it? Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls go to, I don't know.
I've never heard this in my life.
Oh, it's like a little kid taunt.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll have to, I got to think what it is.
Is this any relation to men are from Mars and women are from Venus?
This is like the childhood version. Yeah.
The schoolyard taunt version.
Yes, exactly. As opposed to the grown adult version where, we're calling out guys. Anyway, hey, so welcome to a crash course of the show. This is what we do. We talk about stuff. It's pretty riveting. We talk about anything and everything. As Eric said, I think last week, we are conversational off-roaders. I love that so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. I think it's so good. No terrain is too rocky if the view might be interesting and the thread might be worth following.
That's right. Yes.
So,
You
and
could get to your destination
right, you're just going
in
the
20
long
minutes. But instead, we're taking the scenic route.
Exactly. Like, the scenic route is so much more interesting, and you learn so much more.
And I like to think of our destination as being the weekly topic that we discuss, thanks to the Wheel o' Topics. And this week, by the way, we're talking about what if we had help? And I mean, the help.
Right.
People.
Not mental help.
That's right.
Not like our village.
Not the kind of help we could probably use, but the kind of help that, around the house.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's
Chef,
a whole
driver, housekeeper, etc.
There's a whole, what was it that we were talking about last week that we were like, ooh, that would be a good one too. I can't remember what we were talking about. Like fluffer, or like somebody that there was something that came up.
Fluffer?
It's totally not what it was. But there was something that
we did talk about Fluff-A-Nutter.
We did, and that's
Fluff-A-Nutter sandwiches.
We were talking about something that somebody could do, and
but
it was
hiring a fluffer. I think that might be. I'm not sure that's legal for
no
for a podcast.
Probably not.
Yes.
Well, anyway, but hey, this is what we talk about, nothing and everything, and if you are enjoying it, then you can find past episodes of the show wherever you listen to your podcasts, and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Don't Ask Me to Talk. And then, of course, if you want to reach out to us, we're still waiting. Somebody is by the phone waiting with bated breath for your text or your voicemail. You can call or text 475-999-2726. And then, of course, you could also email us. That's a possibility.
Asking@don'taskmetotalk.com.
There you go.
Keeping it nice and simple.
Yeah, totally. And hey, if you subscribe and follow and like, and dare I say it, rate the show.
That's right, 5 stars or above. And if you leave us a review, we'll read that review on the show. You'll be famous.
Totally famous. We keep talking about a nanomiss. A small miss, otherwise known as anonymous, I think is what they were going for, is my guess.
Yes.
But anyway.
And I'm looking right now to see if we have new reviews, so keep going.
Vamp. I'm very good at vamping. Yeah, so we would love to hear from you. I mean, look, we don't need more topics to talk about, but at the same time, we're always interested if there's something that you want to talk about. We do try to keep it kind of light. It's not that we're afraid of talking about politics or heavy subjects. It's just that we're so inundated with those kinds of things in the world right now that we want this to be like the safe space where you can just like feel like you're hanging out. What did Anonymous say? Like at the cool lunch table.
There you go.
Right? Like,
yep.
Who doesn't need to just like, you know what? I don't need to hear about that going on in the world right now. I just want to sit down and talk about nothing at the lunch table.
Yeah. I mean, let's face facts. There's an election coming up very shortly. And, we have all been inundated with that conversation, which is very important. I'm not saying tune out of that, but when you need a break from that, this is what we're all about. We are the break.
We are the break. Give me a break. Oh, we should talk about, I'm going to add to our wheel of topics, like commercial jingles.
Oh, okay.
Okay. See, this is how I come up with topics.
That is a good one because they are stuck in our brains
all the time.
Evermore. Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that. Like
I was just going to point out that, I'm wondering if we've ever done an episode where we haven't talked about candy, like just by accident, I think we picked candy as a topic at one point, but I think every episode. Is that even a category, I wonder, in the podcast categories? I
don't know.
Candy? Because if it is, we definitely need to get listed.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think forevermore, I might have to add to our hashtags when I post.
Hashtag
like,
candy.
Candy. Because, like, you're right. We do. We talk about it all the time, which means that in theory, one of our favorite holidays is coming up.
Halloween. Yeah, that's right. Because
right?
It's candy season.
It's totally candy season. Forget spooky season. it's like spooky how much candy I eat during this season.
Absolutely. Do you give out candy for trick or treaters, or do you stay at home and
We stay at home. We have raised 4 kids. They all went out. Those were the good old days when the kids were old enough to go on their own so that I didn't have to go and Pete didn't have to go. But then like young enough that they had that hunger and they'd come home with these huge like bags full of candy and times 4 and throw it on the table. The candy tax? Hello. I mean, talk about inflation and high tax rates. It was massive. But yes, we do stay home because I just feel like just purposely stay away. It's so fun to see what the kids like come to the door in, and
you get a lot of trick or treaters in your neighborhood?
Less and less, because I feel like kids are getting in cars now and like being dropped in neighborhoods where they feel like the return on investment is big.
Right. Yeah, it's a big there's a lot of strategy going into it these days.
We're in like the middle of a hill, so like you got to come up and you got to go down, and it's brutal. And so we don't get as many as we used to. But we should, because, hey, neighbors, I give out not king size, but like big size candy bars to like the first group that comes. And then if I have to, I start giving out the stuff that I buy that I really want and that I'm not getting because my kids aren't trick-or-treating. So I'm like, oh, it's for the kids. And then I eat like 1,000 Take 5 bars.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of what happens with us because we tend to get like 3 door knocks on Halloween.
Okay.
And we always have candy for way more than that.
Actually, it's for the kids.
That's right. Yeah. The problem is our street, like, it seems like maybe we're the only ones that are giving out candy. And maybe because the other people have learned that the kids just don't come through our street. I don't know. But so we typically, get 3 visitors, usually groups of kids, which is always smart. You know, you want to go with a group if you're a kid, if you can.
Totally.
But I always end up eating the candy. So I had to just say, I'm sorry, kids, I'm getting what I like because I know I'm going to be eating 70% of it.
Totally.
Yes.
Well, and I think there's 2 schools of thought. Buy what you don't like so you don't eat it, or buy what you do like so you can eat it.
But then it's just going in the garbage if I don't like it. So, yeah.
Right. So
because I can't
know.
like just dump a full bag of the whatever non-candy that I don't like into like those first trick-or-treaters, because then let's say the next kids come along and then I have nothing. So,
oh, there you go. See?
Yeah.
It's a very complicated thing.
It's a dance.
It is. It is a dance.
That's right.
Actually, it's kind of sad how much of a dance it is. I mean, you don't want to be that person that gives out candy corn.
I like candy corn. It's one of those things that I guess has been like demonized over the last decade or so, where it's just, thanks to the internet, it's just become one of these things that people like to kick around as being this horrendous thing. But candy corn is not bad. I remember enjoying it as a kid. I never get it now because, why would I?
Well,
I'm an adult, but
here's what I'll say.
And they make fun-size Snickers, so.
Candy corn, there's actually a candy corn day, which is next week.
I'm sure we've talked about this on the show.
Well, and then the thing with candy corn is I don't disagree with you. Candy corn is not a bad candy. It's just that like by the time you have had like your 3rd to 5th candy corn, you're like, all right, I'm done. And then I definitely subscribe to the like you eat off the tip and then you eat the next layer, then you eat the next layer. Do you do that, or do you just pop the whole thing in your mouth?
I think I do some of the, break it up into parts, because, the vastly different flavor between the white and the orange and the yellow.
So much. There's just a thing.
It's that subtle food coloring taste that the
Exactly.
orange has that the white doesn't quite have, but then the yellow, it's got a unique waxy flavor.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm with you. I don't think it should be demonized, but it's definitely not, for me, it's not the kind of candy that I can eat too much of it.
It's not top tier, but I still enjoyed it.
I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of bed. I probably wouldn't bring it to bed, but
Right. One would hope.
well, yeah, anyway.
So, other Halloween traditions that you guys do? And we'll probably get into this more into the next show, but just as I'm thinking about it, I've been starting with my Halloween tradition, which is trying to incorporate more scary movies into my viewing.
Oh.
I typically don't watch scary movies the rest of the
Same.
year, so I slip in a few of the classics around Halloween. So-
I don't like scary movies any time of the year. So I tend to be like the cute Halloween decor person. Here's something that happened once that this was really kind of fun by mistake. So every year we get 4 pumpkins, one for each of the kids. And the kids, when they were younger, they would draw the face on the pumpkin, and then Pete would be the one to carve it because obviously small children sharp knives. And so now we still do that, but the kids like send us a picture of what the face looks like, and we carve the pumpkins so that the 4 kids are there on the front step as a pumpkin, if you will. So one year though, of course, I left the pumpkins there a little too long, and they were starting to rot. And so as I was going to lift it into yard waste, the pumpkin ended up falling the bottom out onto like the
yard.
landscaping yard, like right at the front. Fast forward a year, I had pumpkins.
Nice.
I had like, I don't know, 7 or 8 small to medium pumpkins that ended up growing. It was the happiest accident. Like, you know, spring happened and all of a sudden I was like, what is this plant? This is definitely not a weed. And it took a while, but then the blossoms would come and I was like, oh, this is so cool. It was so much fun.
I think this happened maybe 2-3 years ago. And since then, I've been letting my pumpkins dissolve in my yard, hoping that I would get blessed by the great pumpkin. But no luck. I guess I'm not getting enough sunlight in our front yard.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know. But it's like, I sort of have been doing the same thing, like throwing it into the backyard. And we have a couple raised beds. And I'm like, I kind of want it to happen again. I don't know if it was like, as you say, the great pumpkin and it struck and that was that. But those are kind of the only traditions. Also, it's not my strongest holiday. There, I'm just going to say it. Like, it's not the one that I go all out for. It's the one that I want to do more for. But it was just like too chaotic when the kids were little, trying to pull their costumes together and all of the literal moving parts.
But now, as you know, they're all full grown, you can kind of relax a little more.
Right, and not pull
Have
out
some
any
fun.
decorations and like, bother.
Watch some scary movies.
No, it's too scary.
But I mean, there's degrees of scary, right?
Yeah.
So you're telling me there's no like even fright adjacent movies that you like?
Like, name one.
Well, like for instance, this year I watched the first Frankenstein movie, the classic Universal 1931, I think, 33 maybe, Frankenstein.
Sure, I've seen parts of that. I've seen also Young Frankenstein, the, of course, Mel Brooks movie.
Right. Okay, so that's a fun one that you can throw in that's kind of in that vein, even though it's funny, right?
Yep, true. Wow, what knockers.
Right.
Classic line.
It's a classic, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, so you don't get any kind of pleasure out of watching like some horror-adjacent films?
Not really.
Okay.
Like, watching Carrie when I was in 2nd grade really terrified me. I haven't seen any of the Friday the 13th movies, even though I was born on a Friday the 13th. None of the Halloween movies, Scream.
Yeah, that's all garbage.
Like, definitely none of that. Like, even watching Misery. Remember Misery with Kathy Bates?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that movie, it's the music. The music kills me in scary movies. Like, I just am like, I know where this is going. I don't even need to watch it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I struggle.
Well, I think that there's all kinds. There's definitely a spectrum. So I think you should start off with the like more family-friendly spooky
Like
movies.
Hocus Pocus?
There's one. I haven't
I've
seen
never
that
seen
one,
that.
but that
People,
seems pretty family-friendly.
Rave about it.
I would recommend one that's got maybe just the right amount of spook without being ever too scary, based on a Ray Bradbury story called Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Oh.
If you haven't seen that, I think that would be a good one for you to queue
Okay.
up for the Halloween season here, because it's not gory at all. It's family friendly, but it's got just the right level of kind of eeriness, spookiness to it that I think you might get a kick out of.
I mean, I do like a good Alfred Hitchcock, but I don't think of them as like scary, like somehow that feels different.
Sure,
to me.
suspenseful, yeah.
Right. Like that, I'm like, okay, those are good.
Right. But
But-
this, I think that one's spooky enough that it would qualify
Okay.
as a Halloween viewing experience.
Okay.
But I mean, and then I don't know what your level of like gore you can handle, like, because there's great stuff like Shaun of the Dead, a very funny movie.
And campy, right?
Yeah, but it definitely has some gore in it and some frights in it because they're dealing with a zombie apocalypse. But it's just very, very funny. So if you can handle a little bit of gore, very, very funny, and I think you could enjoy that without being too scared out of your wits.
Okay. Isn't there also another dumb movie that's called like Trolls or something that is like notoriously like really stupid and weird? I don't know. I'm going to have to look this up.
There is Troll and there's Troll 2 that are both supposed to be extremely bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't mind a little gore, like especially if I know, like, hello, this is so clearly like ridiculous and fake.
Right.
So, okay, this is good. This is a primer for those of us that don't like that stuff.
And one I just watched this year, very funny, a little bit gory, Return of the Living Dead. You might like that as well.
Ooh,
If you
really?
can handle, I'd say watch these other two first.
Okay.
And see if you can, especially Shaun of the Dead. If you can handle that, I think you can handle Return of the Living Dead.
If I can watch Charlie, my son, playing the video game, what is it, Last of Us or something, where it's like zombies and all of that.
Like mushroom people.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
what's happening there? And he's like, oh yeah, that's a zombie that's like, whatever. And, you're watching all these people like get blasted and whatever. If I can handle that and be asking him the
Yeah.
storyline, maybe I can handle this.
I'd say give it a go.
It's the jump scare stuff I think I don't like.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much jump scares in either of these, but yeah, give it a shot. I'd say check out those three. If you can handle those, you might be able to graduate to something a little more spooky.
Okay. I feel so grown up. I will report back. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we can talk some more. Maybe some other holidays and things we need to acknowledge.
That's right. Stay with us. It's Don't Ask Me to Talk. This is Eric Ryder reminding you to follow us on Facebook. We're at Don't Ask Me to Talk, and we're on Instagram, again, at Don't Ask Me to Talk. We'd love to hear from you, so check us out on social media and leave us a comment. Leave us a like. Remember, you can always email us directly at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com or leave us a voicemail or text at 475-999-2726. That's 475-999-2726. And we're back. It's Don't Ask Me to Talk. The Combo Kids right again. I'm Eric Ryder.
I'm Stacey Heller.
That's right. We're podcast pals. And we are to that point in the show where we talk about the various holidays happening this week. And holidays with a Z, because these are kind of off-brand, not federally
Totally.
recognized. If you walk into your job and say, hey, boss, it's National Pasta Day, so I'm going to
Right.
take the day off.
Exactly.
They might not be as stoked as you think,
Yeah,
So
probably not. And it is literally today National Pasta Day. So
that's right.
happy National Pasta Day. It is also, and this is kind of a sweet story, so I want to, it's also Black Poetry Day. So I suspect that is honoring poets who are Black. So the first date that I ever went on, not with my husband, with I would say my first official boyfriend, he is Black. And on our first date, I was always collecting loose change. Like if I'm that person that like I find the penny, I pick it up. If it's not on heads, I turn it over and I leave it for someone else. But anyway, like, or if I find loose change somewhere, and I've always collected it in a big old antique water cooler jug. So on our first date, he gave me a book of poetry by Langston Hughes, who happens to be a Black poet. He gave me a painting that he had done that meant something to him, and he gave me a bag of loose change from his car. I was like, best first date ever. Like, an acknowledgement of who I am, an acknowledgement of who he is, and like a little bit about, you know, who he is and what he has to say and what he believes. I thought it was pretty good. It's kind of sweet, right?
Sure. The loose change is
I still
goofy,
do that.
but...
Hey, you know what? Say what you want, but I had collected enough loose change that I paid for half of my wedding dress with the loose change that I had collected for the first 20 years of my life. I mean,
nice.
Pennies.
And that was probably before Coinstar.
It totally was. I had to roll all those things. I was like, this is awful. But there's a part of me, like the OCD part. So fun fact, it is ADHD Awareness Month. And here's a fun fact as somebody that has ADHD. Many of us also have some OCD tendencies. Considering we can't organize our way out of a paper bag, when we do have a system or a rhythm, like we get a little OCD about it. So that kind of thing, like I actually really enjoyed rolling up all those coins. So, and Coinstar like takes a percentage, so whatever.
Not if you get a gift card or...
Well, you can't use the gift card to buy a wedding dress.
How do you know?
Well, I couldn't at the time.
They could have had Claire's on there or something. I don't know. Dress Barn.
Did not get my dress from Claire's or Dress Barn. Ugh. Not that there's anything against those places, but that is not where I got my dress.
That's all right.
Anyway.
We all know it was Forever 19 or whatever.
Forever 21.
Forever 21, yes.
Well, I was 22 when I got married, so it was
There you
technically Forever 22. This week, it's also mashed potato day, and I make the best mashed potatoes that basically are like a belly bomb because I put in potato, yep, first ingredient, cream cheese, sour cream, butter, milk or heavy cream, whatever I have, like butter, salt, pepper, like it is like, and I don't use anything to like whip them. I like do it by hand and they are good.
That sounds great.
I
would just say throw a little garlic in there.
Well, yes, but you have to roast it first because you don't want chunks of garlic. You want it to be like mixed throughout and a nice subtle twang.
I don't know.
Agree to disagree.
I say chop it up fine and that's just fine.
Okay, well. I think it's funny that the 19th, it is both Evaluate Your Life Day and International Sloth Day. Coincidence? Methinks not. Like, maybe sloths are good and they're like, you know what? I don't need to evaluate my life. I'm good. So embrace it. I have to say happy birthday to my son, Charlie. He is 22, and that is on the 20th, which also happens to be Info Overload Day.
Right.
And World Statistics Day, which it reminds me of the, did you see when Nate Bargatze was on SNL and he did the George Washington sketch?
Yes.
And he came back on a couple weeks ago and he hosted again and he did like a part 2. And it makes me laugh, like all the different names for things and that kind of thing. And all of those world statistics that are out there. Like,
that was one of the funnier episodes that they've had in a while.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. It is also International Caps Lock Day, which you love it when you need it. You hate it when you don't. Because how many times have I, by accident, hit caps lock and then I'm like, shoot. Or as we learned, sugar honey iced tea.
And did the nut that came up with International Caps Lock Day also come up with National Nut Day?
It does make you wonder.
Hmm.
I think, though, the really very specific thing that we need to celebrate is that the 23rd, it is Swallows Depart San Juan Capistrano Day. To the day? Like, you can predict to the days that the swallows depart San Juan Capistrano?
I guess.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a thing.
With this.
It's a total thing. I looked it up when I looked up this day. Of course, I now have long since forgotten it because that was a whole hour ago. But it's a thing.
All right. So San Juan Capistrano in California, I guess a bunch of swallows migrate to their wintering grounds in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
And the swallows fly 6,000 miles south to Goya. And I can't even say the rest of that because it's an Argentine state, I guess. Yeah, interesting.
And it's sort of like the butterfly migration that happens and these butterflies that head to this one particular place in wherever it is and then head on their migration to wherever it is. I think it's just fascinating that it's oh, hey, by the way, mark your calendars and your clock because the swallows are leaving San Juan Capistrano.
Right. Speaking of butterflies, I guess one of the towns where my sister used to live down near Monterey, Pacific Grove, is one of those key migration points for butterflies.
This is what I'm talking about.
So they have a butterfly observatory sanctuary.
Yep.
And I walked a path where I had a bunch of butterflies come down and visit me when I was down there visiting.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. And you know what? I said, big deal. I can fly twice as high.
Nice. Very nice. Good reference.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's so the fact that it can be so specific to a certain place, these migratory patterns that butterflies and apparently swallows and other animals have, that it's generation after generation, no, this is the rest stop where we stop, kids. This is the one. I just think that's fascinating. So anyway, it's also TV talk show host day, and I need to add that topic to our wheel of topics. If we were to have a TV talk show or be a host, what would the show look like? Would it be daytime? Would it be nighttime? Which of them is the least annoying?
I feel like you would host a daytime talk show and I would host a nighttime talk show.
It's probably true. Because I'm all hey, girlie,
That's
what's
right.
up? And you're you're up with insomnia.
I would come out with kill with monologue jokes about Reading Rainbow that one person will get in the audience.
Hey, I got the Reading Rainbow reference.
But I'll have a guy doing the rim shot for me, so that'll sell it. Or they'll give me the nice sound effect of
Dios mío.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, I did get the Reading Rainbow reference. I was very
I appreciate
butterfly
that.
in
Yes.
the sky. Yeah.
Yeah. That one goes out to LeVar Burton.
Oh, he's alive, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm I don't have to.
I think.
I'm wait, I don't have to be sad. I can be sad the show is over, but he's still alive and well.
Is it even over? I don't know. I haven't watched PBS Kids in a long time.
I don't know. I feel like it would be a good show to watch. Speaking of election season, watching Little Bear, that could calm anybody down.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the show that I used to say to the kids before they went to have a nap. I was let's watch Little Bear. And we'd watch Little Bear. And then I don't know about the kids, but I was ready for a nap. That's how it went.
Well, I'm ready for a break.
Let's do it. All right. When we come back, we're going to actually talk about our topic. Keep listening. I'm not famous or connected or an influencer. I'm Stacey Heller of Stacey Connects, and I love to talk with strangers, friends, and family. So I started a podcast about making connections through conversation, asking questions instead of making assumptions, and addressing the elephant in any room. I also often go on tangents that beg the question, where is she going with this? Stacy Connects is meant to be enlightening and entertaining, or as I like to call it, edutainment. Listen, enjoy, and subscribe to Stacy Connects wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. We're back. You're listening to Don't Ask Me to Talk with
Eric Ryder.
And Stacy Heller.
Also known as Max Power and
Myth Busty.
Now, see, I thought it was Myth Busty, like Mythbusters.
Yeah.
But when I read the episode description from a few weeks ago when we renamed ourselves,
did it autocorrect?
It said Miss Busty.
Oh, it's supposed to be Myth Busty.
And I thought, well, that's nowhere near as good.
No, it's supposed to be Myth Busty. Oh, it must have autocorrect.
Well, I might have to edit that.
Yeah, because that was the whole idea, is that it's Myth Busty, like Myth Busted.
Right. Okay.
Right.
I just wanted to double check on that because, it says.
It wouldn't have been clever.
Episode well, that's what I thought. I just thought, okay, well, let's just.
Who cares?
You know,
Like, no big deal. Like, everybody can be like, I'm Mr. Busty, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, no. It
Mr. Busty. That's funny.
I'm married to Miss Busty.
Yes.
No, it's Myth Busty. Or you could do Myth Busted.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's not what it was supposed to be. So I bet it auto-corrected and I didn't notice it.
And that's not what our topic is for this week.
Oh, yeah, by the
of
way.
course.
Okay, so you normally ask me, so I'm going to tell you where this came from. So I dig deep. I work hard. I research. I labor. I toil over these topics. No, not at all. But I was thinking about how recently Charlie, my son, was driving me somewhere. Like, we were going somewhere together, and I was like, can you drive? Because, like, I could just then sit and send a bunch of texts that I need to do and catch up on some stuff. And I can get a lot done in a car. I don't know about you guys. Obviously not while I'm driving. It's not safe to do those things. But I was like, man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I wish I had a driver. And then that took me back to when I was in the throes of raising these 4 lovely, amazing children. But the reality of having 4 kids within 6.5 years, like, it was a lot. And, my husband is like a corporate guy, so he was gone from 7 to 7 every day. And I was like, it was hectic. And so I never fantasized about the, there's the jokes about, like, the pool boy and, or, like, the hot guy that mows the lawn or whatever. I was like, no. I don't want that. I either want to have, like, somebody that comes in and cooks for me. I want to have a driver so that I don't have to drive all over the place with 4 kids and their activities. Or I want somebody that keeps the house tidy. Now, it also stems from the fact that at that time in my life, I had a good friend. We've just lost touch. She's a great lady. She had all of those things and more. So not really the driver per se, but she had, like, the cleaning crew plus the person that came in every day and prepared meals. Plus, like, she had the pool. She probably had a pool guy. She definitely had the gardener. She had all these things. And it was like, which would I choose? Like, what would be the thing that would benefit me most greatly? And it's changed throughout my life. And so I was curious, like, if we get to play make-believe where we can have somebody that helps us out and it doesn't make us a total D-bag jerk, which thing would you want?
Yeah. Boy. And assuming we only have the budget for one salary.
Well,
for one employee. For
right.
This.
You gotta pick. You don't want to, like, be way over the top. Because the obvious thing would be like, well, why not all of them? Or why not somebody that can do all 3? Yeah. But that's not as interesting.
I feel like I enjoy driving, even though I have a long commute. I enjoy driving, and I listen to podcasts, so I'm doing something to keep my mind active and enjoying the time that I'm in the car. So I don't love being stuck in traffic, obviously, but I would be stuck in traffic even with a driver. So I'm going to rule out driver right away because I feel like of these three things, I like driving more than I like cooking.
Okay.
And I definitely like driving more than I like cleaning my house. The other hand, I feel self-conscious. I feel like I need like a temporary housekeeper to come get the house ready.
Clean it for the cleaner.
Yeah,
get it classic.
Get it ready, and then sorry, you're gone. And you've signed your and non-disclosure agreement,
right?
and now goodbye, and now I can start interviewing the real housekeeper. Not that I have any like horrible secrets or anything.
Right.
It's just like, I tend to like instead of putting my clothes away when I'm at the end of the day, changing into pajamas, I'm piling them on top of my dresser.
You mean the open air dresser, as my
Yes.
husband and I call it?
Right.
Like, you think that
it's only because I don't have exercise equipment in the bedroom.
right?
Exactly.
But
But otherwise, that would be covered with shirts and stuff. So I don't know. I think ultimately having a housekeeper would be great. But then again, I just feel so self-conscious. Like I'd be going around cleaning while they were cleaning, and that would just make them nuts. So, I'm going to say, and I feel like if I had more spare time, like somebody helping out with some other thing, then I might be able to actually get better about being organized and cleaning more often.
wow.
So
Feels like there's a lot of there's even some Catholic guilt thrown in there. Like, I know that you're not practicing, but at the same time, it's like, oh, that reared its head, where you're like, oh, now I got to think about this, and I don't want to be a jerk, but also I got to clean.
right.
I mean, here's what I'll say. I have somebody that comes in twice a month and cleans the house. I do feel that it is not her job to tidy up after me. So I 100% clean before she comes. But I'm not.
So what does she even do then?
So wait, but there's a difference between, let me use a different word. I tidy before she comes, and then she cleans. So I feel that there's a difference between tidying and cleaning. Meaning, tidying is hanging up all the stuff that's in the open air dresser and putting it away, right? That's not her job to do that. Now, then dusting said open air dresser, or vacuuming the floor, or cleaning the counters in the bathroom and that kind of thing, then yes. So
That's the stuff that I don't mind, though. I enjoy vacuuming. I don't mind, putting the dishes in the dishwasher, even cleaning a countertop here and there. I find that okay. Again, because I'll listen to a podcast, listen to some music. It's the, when the clothes pile becomes too big, it's like an overwhelming thing that I don't want to deal with. Like my garage needs organized, but it's just, that's going to take forever.
I know someone that can do that, actually, to hire.
Okay. Well, we'll figure out which one of these things I need the most. But what I'm saying, sometimes things become overwhelming, and then it's just easier to ignore them rather than deal with them. Whereas like vacuuming, that's something you just have to do, and it's
twice a month.
At least
twice a month, my house gets vacuumed. In between, it gets swept.
Okay.
See.
So I'm ruling out driver and housekeeper for the reasons that I'm giving. I think chef would be a very cool thing to have. Would be a chef. I still can't see myself, even if I had the money, hiring a chef. But let's just say I won a contest and I could pick one of these three. So it's like, it doesn't cost me anything. It's just like, this is the price. I think I would take chef because I don't mind cooking. I kind of enjoy it sometimes. But at the end of a workday, to go home and then try and make something, that becomes exhausting. And I basically have developed like a bunch of meals that I could make real quickly and easy so I can have dinner before midnight. But if I had a chef that was there willing to put in 2 hours into a souffle, that would be a real treat to come home to some nice beef Wellington or something,
Right?
that I would never make because it's too time intensive and too labor intensive. So I'm going to go with chef. So how about you?
Well, I'm probably at this age and stage in agreement with you. I definitely went through a period where I was like, oh my God, a driver. Like to drive to various activities or things like that. I was like, if I could never drive again, that would be great. And now it just seems like it would be just a waste to have somebody driving me around like, oh, take me to Target so I can return this. Like
Right.
that just seems silly. And then somebody cleaning the house thing, I keep my house fairly tidy, but I do like having somebody come in to do the deep clean twice a month. So that I'm like, well, I can afford that. But the chef thing, now I'll be completely transparent. Pete and I had somebody come in for like 6 months. She would come in on a Monday and she would make like 3 meals for us, and she used our kitchen. She would send us the recipe or the stuff that we were gonna, pick from. Like, here's 5 meals, pick 3 or 2, and then she would make enough for 2 of us, and she would cook for a few hours using our stuff. She did the grocery shopping, the whole thing. It was great, and it was like, it's not always to your taste. Like, you really have to work out some idiosyncrasies of like how it is that you're going to eat. Because
But you could tell them, like, I don't like avocados, for instance. So I would say make anything that doesn't have avocados in it, right?
yes, but then I didn't realize, now we've talked about this on the show before, how much of a picky eater I am.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I'm like the soapy cilantro person. So I'm like, no cilantro. But
Right.
then if she made something, like, Pete likes cilantro. So then it's
Right.
like, okay.
But that's typically a thing that can be added later, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's like every meal that she made was fabulous. Like, hey, I'll totally give her a shout out. Look up Soups on Seattle. Her name is Amber. She's amazing. Consider hiring her. But some of the things had like sauces or like things like that. And I'm like, every night I don't want like a restaurant quality meal. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, like maybe I just want some dried chicken and broccoli and, like whatever. And the things that I really valued was like, I would have her for one of the meals each week do like a salad, like a chopped salad.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody taking the time to chop up all the ingredients, and you could put them together to make a salad or a burrito bowl or
Right.
an omelet or something like that.
That sounds great.
Right? So I think, like, yes, I would go with that, and I would do it differently than we've done it in the past. It's almost like I just need everyone to do, or someone to do, like, all the food prep, and then some things are done and they just have to get warmed up, and then some things are all the raw ingredients and I can throw them into a quiche, an omelet, a salad, a burrito.
So you want to be the chef, but you want to have a cooking staff that would help you run the restaurant.
I need a sous chef.
There
Yes.
you go.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm a nibbler. I want my crudité all ready for me in the refrigerator, ready for me to nosh.
That's what a chef would do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I'm very complicated, all right? All right. Are we out of time?
No, not yet. We've got a couple minutes. So you're saying that
So,
but clearly Housekeeper is the one you've gone with because you had the chef, you fired them, and you don't need the
fire
driver.
them. I went to my
And
lake
you
house
still,
all summer.
You still
and
hire the housekeeper twice a week.
Okay,
so
well,
done.
The housekeeper's been with me for
Let me
like
tell you about some more movies that I've watched.
15 years. Whatever. Oh my God, I'm so bullied. Maybe I would hire a bully protector.
This was your topic.
I'm not saying that I was prepared to talk about it. I'm just saying I came up with it. Look, here's the reality. I'm always going to find something to complain about. That's the hard truth. And you know what? no matter what you have, there's always going to be something that you can complain about. So yes, go ahead. Tell me more movies that I should watch. Have you watched anything good lately in your dirty house? with your crappy food?
Who's the bully now? Who's the bully now?
On your pile of clothes that are sitting out.
Ouch.
Anyway.
Such arrows. And first of all, my house is clean. I think I established that I do clean the house. It's just maybe not organized.
It's okay.
And I do have good food. I'm just saying it's exhausting to make it.
100%. Because you're the one that shared once that you use you have some bougie ingredients in your fridge. By bougie, I mean international and beyond mayonnaise.
Right.
Which for me, I'm like, whoa, you could do stuff with other stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're far more adventuresome and creative when it comes to your cooking. So really, I'm only giving you a hard time because I'm the one that deserves it. But that's how it works.
Oh my goodness. Well, we've only got a couple minutes here left in the show, so we're gonna have to pick some topics for next week. So
all right.
Why don't we do that?
Let's do it. You just got to get me off this topic.
Introvert/extrovert. So are you saying which are we?
Which are you?
Introvert. You're extrovert. Done.
No, by the way, but fair.
Hey, this will be cool.
What is it?
Best soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. I knew you'd like this one.
Yeah, this is, I actually started watching the Bond movies. I told you when I was talking about I watched that music of James Bond documentary that I've never seen a James Bond movie. Well, I finally decided, let me try a couple of these. And I watched the first 3 James Bond movies, which were Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Goldfinger.
Is that Roger Moore?
No, it's Sean Connery.
Was Roger Moore after Sean Connery?
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
I don't know my Bond timeline. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Sean Connery from 62 to 73.
Okay.
Then Roger Moore comes on. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's Timothy Dalton, I think, and
Pierce
Brosnan after him, and then of course Daniel Craig.
So what did you think?
Well,
were they everything that you expected?
I can see why I've avoided them up to this point because they are fairly cornball. But I'm at a point in my life where I can enjoy some cornball stuff.
Nice.
And there's a lot of driving with rear projection stuff, you know what I mean? It's
yes. I'm zooming down the highway in Monaco being chased.
He's got a jetpack off a building and it'll be that's very cool, see a guy launch off a building with a jetpack, but then it'll cut to him in front of just a rear projection screen holding the the handles to the jetpack, and it looks just goofy as hell. And then the other thing is spy movies and action movies have become synonymous with cool, dry, quick wit quips, when stuff blows up, But I'd say some of those early movies, they really didn't have the quips down. So he's in England they say where there's smoke, there's fire. Meanwhile, stuff is blowing up behind him. That doesn't make any sense, James Bond. There's fire, yes. Stuff is blowing up.
That's gonna leave a mark,
right? Yeah. It's just dumb. But I'll tell you what, the music is great. And it's really fun to see that in the context of the movies. But one thing is hilarious is that those first movies, they don't know where to do the needle drop on the James Bond theme. So he's walking through the airport or he's checking out his hotel room.
Yep.
And it's like, dun, 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 dun,
It's like, what?
Yes,
Like-
this should be with action sequences, him jumping
Right.
off a mountain or flying the jetpack. But instead, it's like him doing light paperwork. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Writing checks for the chef.
That's right. I can assume that later they got better at that stuff. But in these early days, it's a little shaky. But that's part of the charm, I'd say. And let's not forget huge blatant sexism in these things. But it's to a point where it's like cartoonish, that it's like every single movie he ends up hooking up with some new lady.
Right.
And then the next movie, no mention of her whatsoever. We
was
assume
so last movie.
she died or they broke up. They realized they didn't actually have anything in common.
Right.
So yeah.
100%. There's really not many callbacks like from past movies.
Right.
It's like, oh, that never happened. Like it was just another mission.
When I watch Thunderball, I guarantee we're not going to find out anything about Pussy Galore.
No. No.
So
I mean, you could say that he found a different version
right. Yes.
if you were like the cutting edge type quick wit sort.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, this will be a very fun topic. So let's just say that we can't choose Bond soundtracks because
All right,
we've
fair
talked
enough.
about that.
Fair enough.
Okay. So we're going to share what soundtracks we think are best.
Awesome.
All right. Let's do it.
Be sure and tune in next week for another edition of Don't Ask Me to Talk.
Bye.
I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.